Republican strategist Luke Ball and Carrie Sheffield, thank you both for coming on. Luke, here's the president on the immigration crisis in Spain. He said the following.
It looks like an invasion of a country by hundreds of thousands of people. And that same thing's going to happen to us if the Republicans don't get elected, except worse. Much bigger, much easier to get into. That's going to be a talking point for the midterms. Because when you look at what happened to Spain, they don't know what to do. And it's happening again today.
They don't know what to do, Luke, but the left is cheering on the chaos over there.
Yeah, the European Union is a petri dish for globalism. It is the blueprint for what the left wants to do here in the United States. The left is not upset at what is happening in Spain. They are just jealous that it's happening over there, their open borders, their lack of national identity, instead of happening here in the United States. And thank God that President Trump is in office and he put a stop to this. They also don't care about the cost. 57 people in that incident in Spain at least have died, but under the Biden administration's open borders, well over 2,300 people died when they had the same type of policies that they have over in the European Union and in Spain. So when the liberals are out here talking about what they would do instead of the Republicans, I want to know where their voices were under the Biden administration when migrants were dying and the borders were open.
What amazes me, Carrie, is that it is across all of these different facets of any time you see these types of pictures in any scenario, you will have the left coming out and they will support the people who are breaking the law. I don't know why that is, but that is the way it is.
Well, it's because the left, the Western world is completely disavowed its own roots of the West. President Trump is like Atlas carrying the Western world on his shoulders. Europe and the left here in the United States, it wants DEI, it wants race baiting, it wants to reject the rule of law. And what's so insane about all of this is that you have 140 million people, according to Gallup, want to come to the United States, and most of them are from black and brown countries. If America was such a racist country, which the left claims it is, why would they want to come here? Because we have the rule of law. And so wherever you go, there you are. So if you are embodying chaos and lawlessness, you're going to bring that to the new place. And I want to say one last thing in particular about women, because women have been, for decades on the southern border assaulted and raped. And it was President Trump who stood up for women. And so what makes me so angry is when the left, whether it's in Europe or in the United States, claim to care for women, they do not care for women who are trafficked and assaulted on these borders.
And we literally had evidence, very strong evidence, of thousands of people being sex trafficked during the whole Biden border crisis. And I didn't see a single protest on the left for those people. Luke Ball, here is Abdul El Sayed running for Senate in Michigan, and he's campaigning with Ilhan Omar. Watch.
And if you think the best possible politics for a people as earnest and as gritty as Michiganders are is a politics that sells them off to the highest bidder, whether it's DTE or Blue Cross or big tech or big pharma, whether it's AIPAC, then you don't understand Michiganders.
Of course, he has to toss in AIPAC there. His opponent in this thing, Haley Stevens, writes, quoting here, "Everyone in America understands you want to blame all of your problems on Jewish Americans. You're part of the complainer class looking for their next book or podcast deal." It seems a fair assessment, Luke. What do you think?
At its core, the Democrat Socialists of America want two things. They want to abolish Israel, and they want to abolish the United States as we know it. And if you don't believe me, go listen to their own remarks where they refuse to recognize Israel as a legitimate state, where they say things like the United States deserved 9/11, that it exhilarated them to see Hamas attacking Israel. And I don't know where the centrist or the moderates or the legacy Democrats are. They have put up all of the resistance of a screen door in a hurricane to this radical ideology. And I went tonight, Trace, before this interview to go find what the Democrats' official 2026 midterm platform was. The only thing I could find was a 2024 Kamala Harris document from 2 years ago. They are still reeling from their loss under President Trump. They are still reeling from the fact that they have no alternative message for the Republicans. So they need to speak now or forever hold their peace, because their party's going in a radically dangerous direction.
Meantime, the DSA candidate running for governor of Wisconsin, Francesca Hogg, out, said that parts of the DSA platform she agrees are maybe going a bit too far. Watch.
Is there anything in the DSA platform that you disagree with?
Yes.
Okay, what would that be?
Abolishing the Senate. I believe it's nonsensical and non-practical at this time.
You said abolish the Senate, defund the police, abolish the police. And why should they not believe that you would want to do that you would try to do that if you became governor?
I believe that people can evolve. We meet Trump voters from previous elections who now would like to vote for me, who have a sign in their yard.
I don't know, Carrie, are you buying that? I'm still DSA, but I have evolved. I'm something else.
That is typical politician slippery snake speak. And people are too smart to buy that. I mean, when you look at the margins of Trump won Wisconsin in 2024 as a Republican, the highest margin since Ronald Reagan swept with his massive sweep in 1986. And so, or 1984. And so it's just, I think this candidate exists in an echo chamber. I think she is thinking that people are a lot more stupid than they really are, and they're not going to fall for this. And that's what I think is really sad when you're talking about common sense. Right. I love your segment on common sense. This woman is completely devoid of this.
Well, common sense appreciates that. Carrie, thank you. Luke Ball, we appreciate it. Back with the nightcap. A new piece from Fox's San Diego affiliate is posing the question, is a work-life balance possible, or is the perfect mix pure fantasy? Chanley Painter.
Well, I think it's different for every person in every situation, but as the saying goes, you work to live, not live to work.
Okay, very good. Brittany.
Well, I can tell you after being on CBS News for over a decade, I am much happier sitting right here in this chair and talking to you, Trace.
Get out of that news industry. Luke Ball.
I think Scripture has the best blueprint for work-life balance. In 1 Thessalonians says, make it your ambition to live a quiet life. You should mind your business, work with your hands, so that your daily life may win the respect of outsiders and that you will not be dependent on anybody.
Good for you, Luke. Anita Vogel.
You know, I am here on a Friday night with a smile on my face.
Yes, you are.
This was not a thing when I was working my way through television markets to get here. I just think you do the best you can.
You just do it, and if you're in news, you're working nights, you're working weekends, you're working all the time. Benjamin.
I think the challenge is there are things that are worth something and things that are weigh something. So basically the point being is that find what is worth more to you than what weighs more.
Yeah. Natalie.
Yeah, I think perfection, anything this side of heaven is a fantasy, including work-life balance, but it's a good goal to have.
Yeah, Mr. Impossible says it's a reward for years of hard work. You get it near the end of your career, not the beginning. Courtney, it's possible, but work-life balance is like the balance beam in gymnastics. It's easy to fall to either side, and only the disciplines stay on. Carrie, a perfect mixture is up to the person, but a 50-50 balance, probably not. Gabby, yes. But take away computers, cell phones, video games, and social media, then you have the most important thing, your family. Diane, there's always compromise. It is more like a teeter-totter. Sometimes work wins and other times home life wins. Ron, retirement was my answer. JB, absolutely, unless you're a workaholic. And Wolfways, it is a fantasy, but that doesn't stop us from trying. Thank you for watching America's Late News, Fox News at Night. I'm Trace Gallagher in Los Angeles. Have a great weekend. We'll see you back here on Monday.